Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. Then we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Rogue from the Age of Apocalypse Wave 2. I'm really excited about this one, so let's dive straight in and take a look at the figure in more detail. So what do we get in the box? Well, obviously we get the figure as itself. We also get two closed-fisted hands. And of course we get the Build-A-Figure piece of Colossus. We get his left arm and a left closed fist. But I'll get into Colossus in another video, so I'm going to put that to the side for now and just focus on the main woman herself, Rogue. Now, I don't want to talk too much about her character in the comic books because I don't want to give anything away, so I'm just going to focus solely on the figure. Now, this is such a crazy costume for her, and the guys at Marvel Legends have done a really decent job with her. There are a couple of bits missing, so there's like some black lines on her costume missing, but all in all, considering the zaniness of her costumes, the big puffy arms, the big kind of moon boots, the collar, the hairstyle, they've done a really good job. So I'm actually really impressed, and I think she's an awesome looking figure. Now, in the comic book, she does wear a cape, so I just grabbed this cape from Mandalorian figure from the Black series. I've seen some people use capes like Polaris, but this particular one I just thought was quite cool. It's got like an off-the-shoulder look, a bit of a tattered look. Now, she doesn't wear it all the times in the comic, so I can understand why it's not included in the figure. But for the sake of action figure photography and obviously display purposes, I've got this one that I can use when I want to. So I think that looks quite cool. It's got like an off-the-shoulder look. You can see there's a hood there as well. And like I said, this one came with the Black Series Mandalorian figure, which I swapped out for a soft goods cape. So this particular cape is just sitting in my fodder box. So it's a nice little addition to Rogue if and when I need it. I'm going to take it off for now just so that I can do some side-by-side comparisons with earlier versions of Rogue. So the articulation and the detail on her is, as I said earlier, pretty good. The articulation is pretty standard. It's that what you would expect from a 6-inch figure. And let me just pull in some of the others so that we can have a look side-by-side. So this is the retro carded Rogue that we got earlier in the year. Definitely a fan favourite. She really does match the look in the animated series. Here's the modern Rogue that we also got as part of the 2-pack with the Pyro figure. And then, of course, we've got the very sought-after Juggernaut Wave Rogue, who was the only Rogue figure that we had up until that time. And since her, we've now got an additional 3 figures, which is really cool. Now, I say the only figure, obviously we did have some in the Toy Biz days, but the Juggernaut Wave was the definitive Rogue in people's opinion. And then, obviously, this animated retro carded version came out. Now, I'm a huge fan of Rogue, so I'm really pleased to have these 4 versions. Obviously, these 3 here are, between those, I think these 2 are the kind of my second place, with the retro card being the first, and then the modern one kind of being the 4th place for me. Even though she come with 2 alternate heads, I think that the newest one, the Age of Apocalypse, and of course the retro carded one, are probably the 2 better versions of Rogue, because they are distinctively different looking costumes, but it's quite nice to have the kind of really white hair, because obviously that's quite a distinctive thing in the comic books, have that kind of white hair at the front. The modern version is a really nice figure, but it is quite a distinctive costume, and obviously the Juggernaut one is a little bit dated now, but is definitely a figure to keep in the collection. Now, just putting Rogue next to Cyclops here from the same wave, you can see that she's quite tall for a female figure. She is quite tall. Either that or Cyclops is quite short, but considering he's built on the sort of standard Bucky mould, you can see that Rogue does stand pretty well next to him, like kind of shoulder to shoulder to him. So what else can I say about this figure? Well, it's a crazy costume, let's be honest. It's a really crazy costume. These big kind of boots are the first time we've seen those on the figure, and the unnecessary puffy kind of 90s arms. Again, just kind of unnecessary design. But the colours on her are really cool. The yellow is really vibrant, and the light and dark green contrast each other really nicely. So all in all, I'm really pleased. Everyone was expecting her in Wave 1 and were quite disappointed when she wasn't there. Now, obviously, Gambit is a on-off love interest of Rogue's, no matter what comic book she's in. So it's a shame that we haven't seen the Gambit figure that we can stand next to her for the time being. But of course, we did get Magneto. So if you've read the comics, you'll understand my references, but I'll leave it open to you. Go and read those Age of Apocalypse comics and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But back to the figure, she's really nice. I really like the design of the hair. The design of the hair, even from a profile shot, is very iconic and matches a lot of the artwork that you'll see online and in the comics and the graphic novels, etc. So yeah, I've really not got any really major complaints. The only thing I will say is that the pegs in her feet seemed quite loose when I opened her up, so I just had to be careful when I was moving the feet around. But with most Marvel Legends, it's just a case of just being careful. But yeah, all in all, a really cool figure. If you're enjoying the 5-minute figure reviews, please do like, share, subscribe. Check out my page for some of the other Age of Apocalypse reviews, and I will see you next time. Oh, yeah.